Hello and welcome to Engine Adventures review of this 2022 Hyundai Tucson. This is the Tucson XRT, and it might just be an appearance package, it might be an off-road package, but they kind of market this one as a little bit more off-road friendly. And you've got some Michelin, these are not the Primacies, they are the Primacies. Okay, Michelin Primacy AS tires. I do like the black wheels. They're almost like an aerodynamic design for, you know, what you'd get on an EV with, you know, really small vents and a large flat surface. I like the look of them. They're 235 tire, 235 wide, 55 R19, so these are 19-inch wheels, and there's plenty of room in here to go down to probably a 17 between the caliper and the wheel, giving you more sidewall if you have the same diameter tire and want it to be more off-road capable. Having that extra sidewall is helpful, of course. And I do like the design. No fog lights on it. These are the headlights and brights down there. This is the regular on now, and then running lights, I guess you'd call them. A few other features, I guess you could call it. So I'll stand right next to this. I don't know if you can see that, but that step for an off-road vehicle, that thing, or an off-road design or whatever, is super low. I mean, the vehicle is not high to begin with, but I mean, on a minivan or something that low is nice. The kids can step on there and come up in, but if you're marketing it as an off-road type trim, those steps are really quite low. They're going to be taking a lot of hits. What else on here? These roof rails. I do like the option of having the roof rails, but in my case, I didn't realize I did that. Anyway, in my case, it seems like this has been making a bit of noise. Maybe this front one, but it sounded like it was actually behind me, so you would think it'd be the front one making wind noise when you're driving. And again, back here, I like the taillight design and everything. It's kind of a nice looking vehicle. I think they redesigned it last year for this model year, and nothing's really changed for the 23 model year. So what you're seeing is basically the same thing you'll get. Pricing and stuff might be a little different, but anyway, let's go ahead and take a look under the hood. Here is the 2.5 liter inline four. I believe it is, well, it's GDI, gas direct injection, but I think it's also got a port fuel injection or something on it to help keep the valves and everything clean as well. I'm not 100% on that, but I think I read something there. Anyway, 187 horsepower, 178 foot-pounds of torque. It's dual or hit cam and 16 valve, so 4 valves per cylinder. Anyway, pretty basic overall, actually. There's no turbos or anything on it, and it does feel a little underpowered. It could use a little more power, but the reliability trade-off of having just a standard basic engine in today's world where everything's a tiny turbo, with, you know, fairly decent boost pressures now. They're running pretty high pressures. These basic naturally aspirated engines are a good way to go for long-term reliability. We're up here in the mountains-ish in Utah at 4,700 feet where I am right now. And as you gain elevation, the naturally aspirated engines do lose quite a bit of power. So there are plenty of trade-offs, but for the reliability, a lot of people might prefer this, or probably do prefer this, over having the little extra boost in power. Back here, the rear glass does not open separate from the hatch. I know I've talked about this many times, and I would much prefer that it did. I didn't notice that was separate pieces there before. Anyway, much prefer that the rear glass would open separately, and as far as I know, it doesn't. So there's no buttons down here. Got the rear view camera and some lights, but in here, there's only one button. Right here. So that's the one button that you have underneath. And yeah, in here, the storage isn't bad. There's a decent amount of storage. space here. Oh, it's about the right size actually. So, I mean, for a 2-row vehicle. And underneath, of course, spare tire, and there's room for extra storage. I'm not sure why it has it like this. I don't know if there's a different option where it walls that off and you get pockets on the side. Anyway, there is a little extra space under there, and I'm not even sure what these other pieces are in here. Let's take a look. Oh, you got a little teeny tiny hitch for this little receiver here, and it's an actual hitch too. There's no ball on it, but it's not, you know, a lot of times these smaller 1.5-inch receivers are for just putting a bike rack on or something, but that one's an actual hitch. And I'll put the tow rating up on the screen, I guess, just because the hitch is there. I wasn't going to talk about towing, but because I saw that, I will. And then, of course, you can take that out. The jack's up there, and then a few more cubbies and stuff, and you can pull that foam out as well and have a little bit of space if you wanted the extra storage space. And it looks like you can also raise this up here if you wanted, which is how it was. So you have a flat load floor, but if you want a little extra space above, you can do that. So we're gonna try and put that back up where it was, just to keep the low floor flat. And I'm guessing, let's fold this seat over here, and didn't quite make it, but yep. So a lot of newer vehicles have a bump right here, so with this being raised up a little bit, it smooths that little bump out. Just a regular 12-volt power outlet. Plastic anchors, don't like the plastic, but they are there. I don't know, maybe just to put a cargo net down. It's not really to hold a lot of weight, but grocery hooks on both sides. And then, of course, if you get the cargo cover, sunshade protector, whatever, it's got the setup for that. Let's go ahead and move into the middle row. And this seat, there we go, just had to force it. I was just gonna say, this seat doesn't, or wasn't folding down all the way, but if you force it down, it goes down and it locks in place. So pop the handle there, and then you can see it also reclines. So right now it's straight up and down. Recline it back a little bit. And these seats are like they almost feel like neoprene. It's not neoprene, but it kind of feels like neoprene. Child seat anchors, you get 2. The middle seat does not have them. It's pretty narrow middle seat. A couple cup holders there. And 2 USB A's, 2 vents, no extra zone for the climate control back here. And everything's pretty basic other than that. I mean, just power windows. And again, you kind of get the same seat material here. And then, of course, plastics and leather or fake leather there. No sunroof in this one, which is typically how I prefer vehicles for me, but I do understand it's nice having the sunroof to open things up for the back seat passengers. Take a look at the door sticker here, and payload capacity 926 pounds, and yeah, tire information, whatever, if you want all that stuff. Gross vehicle weight's 4761, so this thing's actually very lightweight, 3,800 pounds, about 38 something. So, and made in Korea, it says right there, manufactured in Korea. So yeah, let's go ahead and move up here to the front row. The back support there, which was actually pretty good. The seats, they're like a little bit hard for me, but I do like having the harder side bolsters, but the bottom is just, it's pretty stiff. And that probably will wear in with time and be a bit more comfortable, but as it was a little bit stiffer than I preferred. And the step, like, I don't know, like I said, for kids it's useful. If you've got a minivan or something, having that step there, it's useful. But for me, like, using the step makes it harder to get in than just stepping in without it. And having the step there, I've hit my leg on it a couple times, whatever, getting in and out, because it's just, the vehicle's low enough you don't need that to begin with. So adding it in is more of an issue than it is a solution. On this side, traction control to open the rear, and then the interior lighting, you can dim it or brighten it. And Let's go ahead and start it up. Been getting pretty good fuel mileage actually, for how I've been driving. So I would expect most people to get better fuel mileage than that. I was giving it quite a bit of gas, you know, getting up to speed quicker than I normally would. So I'm guessing even if my normal driving, rather than being a little more aggressive, that I would have gotten 25 plus. So not amazing, but not terrible. It does have some weird things to it. So say you're rocking out and you want to slip over to the wiggity wiggity, you scroll up on this one to go up on the station. Now say you're listening to Dave Matthews and it's just getting too much. There's too much going on because so many instruments in there, very complex music, and you want to go to Tom Petty, something old school, a little more chill. Tom Petty's up one station, so instead of pushing down, you're going to push, instead of pushing up, you're going to push down to go up. So on this side, it's normal. Scroll up to go up, scroll down to go down. Over here, if you want to go up, you push down. If you want to go down, you push up. I hate that. They should fix that. All right. Enough complaining about that. Drive modes are here, and there are 4 of them. Normal, Sport, Smart, Snow. And I spent most of the time, well, it's kind of a mix between normal and snow. It's very, very dead throttle when snow mode, which is what it's supposed to do. That's exactly how it should work. And then when I switched back to normal mode, and especially Sport, but normal mode was much better. And I haven't really messed with Smart mode. I don't know how long it takes the vehicle to learn. So in smart mode, it's, you know, if you're a daily driving it, leave it in smart mode. But yeah, anyway, go back to normal mode. Here we have a center differential lock. It's clutch based, of course, being an all-wheel drive setup. You hit that and just applies as much pressure as it can to those center clutches. Downhill assist, downhill brake control, they call it. Auto hold for when you stopped at a stoplight or whatever, you can let off the brake and it holds it for you. Parking cameras. And this one doesn't have surround view cameras, so it's just a rear view mirror. A blank. The auto stop start. Yeah, I'm gonna turn that off. Over here, USB-A, and another 12-volt outlet. It does have wireless charging here in the middle, and it worked just fine for my phone. It's not a button, so you can't turn it on and off, so be careful if you're throwing other stuff in there. Climate control and everything, I liked it. It all worked just fine. You have 3 different auto settings, so if you want higher fan speed, you do auto 3, or lower, you can do 2 or 1. I'm just going to flip that off for now, but for me it worked great. Heated seats here, and obviously some button blinks for ventilated seats, I would say. And man, these lights are really hard to see. Pretty small center console, just my lunch and sunglasses in there. There's no charging ports or anything in there. Up top, not a whole lot either. You just have the lights for when you open the door. Do you want the lights to come on or not? And it's set to come on. If I flip that, then they turn off. And then that's just to keep the interior lights on. Home link rear view mirror, just standard stuff. And then let's go ahead and look over the window sticker. So 2022 Tucson XRT all-wheel drive. The base price is $34,840. Sorry, that's the final price. The base price is $33,350. The only option are carpeted floor mats for $195, and then with the shipping and handling and freight and all that stuff, $12.95. So yeah, there you go, $34,840. A few things noteworthy: 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain, 5-year, 60,000-mile on the rest of the vehicle. 7-year unlimited for the corrosion. It says anti-perforation, and then 3-year, 36,000 complimentary maintenance. Lots of really good warranty on these new Hyundais. We'll skip the advanced safety stuff. It's got lane keep assist and adaptive cruise control. Anyway, plenty of extra features, blind spot monitors and stuff like that. The 2.5 liter, they call it the Smart Stream, 4-cylinder engine. There you go. Gas direct injection and multi-point injection. The multi-point helps you keep the valves clean. The direct injection is more efficient. And
potentially more powerful. 8-speed auto with the Shiftronic. Yeah, it's kind of got the manual mode down here. Keep moving along. Oh yeah, H-Track all-wheel drive with drive mode select. And again, there's no off-road mode or anything, but you do have that center diff lock button. Tow hitch is standard on the XRT model. XRT exclusive body side cladding and side steps. So that's standard. Those side steps are standard. The tow hitch. Oh yeah, the LED lights too, I think are optional on other trims, some of the other trims, but they're standard on this one, of course, and the body color rear spoiler. Anyway, just a few extra features there on the XRT model. So as far as I know, drivetrain, powertrain, off-road capability hasn't really changed, but it does have the appearance package for whatever for the XRT trim, so it's more of an appearance package. And as you notice with the tires too, that was more of the thing with it, was the appearance package. You know, the tires are not even all-terrain tires really, they're an all-season tire, and they're great. Those Michelin tires are excellent on-road tires, so not a bad choice at all for the conditions that most people are going to be driving these things in. Cruising on the freeway in the Tucson XRT is quite nice. Seems like it would do excellent for longer road trips. I am getting a little bit of wind noise from the back that I don't remember getting before. It's not terrible, it's just slightly louder than I had noticed before this. And with the engine, with the drive mode in normal, it actually does fairly well as far as peppiness. So we're gonna go from 70 to 80 here to simulate passing someone. Takes the transmission a second to downshift, and 80. So it's not overly quick, but it definitely, it can move if you needed to. I don't know if you were fully loaded for a family trip or something, it might take you a little bit longer. You just have to plan your passing a little better, but it's not bad at all. And it does keep speed fairly well. It's not hard to keep speed. The 8-speed transmission is pretty good on gearing throughout. It's maybe a slightly taller gearing down low than I would like, but not bad at all for this little 2.5 liter engine. Steering's tight on the freeway. Around town it seems to be a little bit lighter, not quite so heavy, but I do like having the tighter steering while cruising. It just seems like it keeps you in a straight line a little better, and it's not difficult to turn a little bit, but it just makes your movements a little smoother, I would say. 0 to 60, we're in normal mode. 3, 2, 1, go. It has a weird torque converter lockup. It's like it slips for a second and then grabs. Very weird. 60. Keep it going just a hair to make sure that we got it this time. And 10.72 seconds. Thank you for watching Engine Adventures review of this 2022 Hyundai Tucson XRT. Really not a bad vehicle. I enjoyed driving it. It's got kind of a sporty feel to it. It's a little bit more of an on-road vehicle than an off-road. They definitely market it a little bit as off-roading, and if you want to see how it does off-road, be sure to check out that video next. But it drives well, handles well, and it's, yeah, a fun little vehicle to drive. If you liked what you saw, be sure to hit subscribe, ring the bell so you get notifications when we post new videos, and give me a thumbs up. If you didn't like it, be sure to give me a thumbs down and comment down below. Let me know why. Either way, comment. I want to hear your thoughts on it, on the video overall. And thanks again. Have a great day.